I've been riding on a daydream.
Ooh. Oh. All right. Something's come. Let me go out and get it. That's why I walked over there. I thought it was 62, but it's probably 52. All right, this is good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day. You too. So here we are. You see UPS helped me out here. We got it on the front porch. And man, it's a windy day. Hopefully we don't pick up too much, but this is something that you guys probably didn't expect. So what is the deal? Heidi and I jumped into the electric bike arena back before we even hit the road full time. We were living in the RV full time, but it's before we hit the road full time. And we picked up Rad Power bikes. Now, they're kind of the name. And it's kind of like everything else. You can go with the one that's being advertised and the name that you hear all the time, and feel pretty safe about it. Or you might just venture into another brand if you do a little research and get something a little bit better. Now, in our case, we went from the Rad Rover 5 for myself. Heidi had a Rad City step-thru, and we enjoyed the bikes. They were very comfortable riding. They were full-size bikes. We couldn't stand loading them in the back of the truck and taking them out of the back of the truck when we had the cab, when we still had a travel trailer. So those were sold, and we got into the electric XP 2.0. Those bikes were great. They fold up nice. They had good power. They did everything that we wanted, all except we got a fifth wheel. And at that point, we didn't have a place to store the bikes. Now, we didn't necessarily know we were getting a fifth wheel at the time we got the XP 2.0s. So that was kind of poor planning on our part. Now, those XP electric bikes could fit in the pass-through if we would have laid them on their side, but they would have taken up so much room. And I thought, and so did Heidi, thought, well, if we're going to have to carry these bikes, we can't carry them in the bed of the truck because that's where the fifth wheel hooks up, and we can't carry them in the fifth wheel, we probably have to carry them on the back of the fifth wheel. And if we're carrying bikes on the back of the fifth wheel, why shouldn't we go back to a full-size bike again? And that's whenever we did a little research and came across Magicycle. Now, 100% full disclosure, this is going to have not only this video, but a couple other ones attached to it. You guys know that we're forthcoming on all this stuff. And there will be a little indication that this is a paid promotion. The bike was sent to us for free for review. At no point did they say you have to give us a great review. We're going to give you a review of what we think about it. Everything that I'm seeing on the information from Magicycle, it's a bigger motor, it is a more powerful battery, and it has better speed, let's just call it speed, top speed, than the Rad bike that's the equivalent to this. So we're going to look at some engineering differences. We're going to see a lot of similarities, I'm sure. But yeah, this is coming from a company that was founded by a gentleman they just refer to as Wade. I'm assuming it's like Wade Cycles. They talk about how he got into production of electric bikes. He has some engineering background apparently. And right now, as it stands, they are one of the leading distributors, manufacturers, I should say, of electric bikes for quite a few countries, not just one country or cities, I mean countries. They have over 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility with over 150 employees. So it's not like this is some place that we've never heard of. We just never heard of it. And it's because we're not informed. It's not like we go in and research this. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and pull this thing apart the box that is, and assemble the bike, see what it looks like, and get some first impressions. And we've got 2 more videos that we'll be doing after this one down the road that'll give us a better idea of what it's like, and maybe some of the challenges we'll come across, because we still have to mount it on the back of this RV, and that's going to cause us to have to make some decisions on what we're going to do there. That's about as far as I want to go without reading any instructions or anything. The assembly obviously should appear to be pretty normal to most. There is some differences I noticed right off the bat. Of course, the battery being contained in that frame in between those 2 bars, that's a little bit different, and it is a bigger battery. The controller, I'm kind of surprised where the controller is. Now, there is a front fender that's offered for this, but that does put the controller in a position that it might be exposed to a little bit. We'll have to see if that comes into play at all. Just, you know, you're not supposed to be riding these through puddles and stuff like that, but sometimes crap happens. And then we're going to go ahead and open the box now and get the instructions and see what's that. What do we have here? Oh, bicycle alarm. They give you an alarm for the bicycle. Oh, that's cool. Can't wait to try that out. And the headlight looks familiar. Pretty standard. All of them pretty standard there. Now here's some stuff that they give you that's not standard. Look at this. Look at a bike lock. How nice is that? I mean, we have a bike lock, but isn't it nice that it includes? And I'm going to tell you that the bike lock that we have for the that we had for the electric bikes, we have 2 big 10mm chains. Well, that's good if you're going to hook them up somewhere and leave them and be far away from them. And what I mean is, like when we were in Oregon, remember that? We dropped them off at the boardwalk, locked them up, and then we went to restaurants and ate and explored. And of course, we came back and they were still there. However, 90% of the time, we have a lock that's about this size that we use just to go to the store or whatever. If we're just going to be inside the store for a few minutes.
For a quick stop.
Yeah, for a quick stop. This is a good deterrent for that.
Got
of course,
a mounting bracket also.
Yeah, we'll have to see what that's about. Of course, your pedals, which we'll install the pedals on there. Those are pretty good size pedals. That's good. And let's see what else is in here. I got a new baseball cap. Check that out. That's awesome. I can't believe I got a new cap. Oh, this is nice too.
Nice.
This is a cell phone holder, and it's got a touchscreen design that you can touch your phone through this that sits up on that crossbar.
Wow,
Man,
that is very nice.
they're adding a lot of nice features. Got a little note in here. Cool. Got our owner's manual, and I'm sure the assembly instructions. Let's see what's in here. Yes. So here's the charger that comes with it. Now, this is something that you may want to be concerned about. It's a 52-volt battery system. Now, you got to realize that all these other ones that are kind of in the same market as these, and I'm just going to say it flat out, the Rad Rover, you know, that's a 48-volt battery. This one is a 52-volt battery that's on there, and that basically gives you, you know, 4 to 5 more volts at any point over top of a 48-volt system. So you'd be concerned with, oh great, it's a bigger battery, it's a longer charge. No, this is a fast smart charger. This thing is about a 5-hour charger. So within 5 hours, you get a full charge. So a little bit better than what you're normally getting. And again, with all these additions, it's really nice. Of course, the tool bag, the infamous tool bag. I'll have to say, for the most part, we've used a few tools out of this on our past bikes, but I don't think that we're going to necessarily use them. Maybe for installation, maybe I don't have to get my tools out. But this is what comes in the box, and we'll look through the instructions, but I'm pretty sure I know how this goes together. all together. Now there's some adjustments that we still need to make. It's a good idea always to go through, check all your bolts, all the nuts, just make sure that they've tightened them. A lot of things I like about this. One small problem that we've already experienced has nothing to do with the build, and I'll just talk about that right now. Heidi's 5'3". She is tippy-toed on this. The seat is all the way down. We even took the reflector off so it could go down another ½ an inch, and yet she is definitely tippy-toed. Obviously it's a step through, so whenever you come up to a stop sign or something, you can kind of just step off the bike. That's why the girls' bikes have the swoop like that. However, that's not a lot of distance from here to here for her to be able to you know, sneak her body in there. So other than that, I like the way this thing went together. The back motor says 750 watts on it. That's not peak wattage, but could be close to. There is nothing here that indicates, from what I can tell, something that specifically says like class 3. That's a big deal that they have on a lot of these other ones for some of the countries that are being sold. They put an actually, you know, a nomenclature on there that says what class it is, which is ridiculous because you could have a motorcycle with pedals that is an electric motorcycle with pedals, and as long as you don't do over the speed limit of 20 miles an hour or whatever it may be in your country, you're fine. You know, it's just one of those things. But I'm telling you, just the feel of the bike initially, I like it. I like the way that it feels. We want to add the bike lock to it because it does mount on the bike, so you can carry it with you, which ours currently, with the electric bikes, we were always just putting them on the back cargo rack. Again, one thing that I noticed on this one, being a fat tire bike, and the Rad Rover bike, I had to buy the rack. They didn't give me the rack. Used to be that they didn't even give you fenders, but they did finally start giving you fenders. The controller, again, I think might get exposed to kick up off of the ground, you know. I don't know how I feel about that yet. We need to experience, that may not be an issue. We still need to plug in the front headlight and go over some of the features, but I wanted to show you the initial build, what you would be involved, you know, to get it together. And oh, so far I like it. I like the way it looks. I honestly thought I might hate the double down bar thing, but now that I've seen it in person, it doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty decent. That's from riding those little electric bikes so much. This does feel big.
Too tall for me.
Yeah, Heidi likes where her feet are way flat on the ground, but she can just lean a little bit to the left and be supported. We plugged in the brake light. We plugged in the headlight. Both work pretty quick and easy. The display is very nice, and you're not going to be able to tell that on this camera at all. Yeah, I don't know. I took it for a ride, and it reminded me of the Rad bike, especially with those big tires. The ride is smooth and quiet, very quiet. So we'll keep this, ride it, try it out, and give you a little bit more of an update at a later time.